I was always curious what Amaran meant. So a quick Google search showed me that it's a name meaning the immortal, one who is blessed with a long life with no end. And I think that makes sense because the Amaran LED panel lineup is far from dead. So I have been an Aputure fan for a long time. Long enough to remember the days when they released the Amaran 672 LED panels that brought affordable LED lighting to us indie filmmakers. Now, they were made of kind of brittle plastic and had minimal controls, but they got the job done. And even just about a week ago, I came across a fellow DP who still had some 672s in his kit in perfect working order. Now, even though the 672 panels may last forever, it never hurts to get some fresh blood into the family lineup. And so Aputure has done just that, bringing us two new Amaran LED panels with the P60 X and the P60c. And like the old Amaran 672s, I plan on using these lights for a long, long time. So before we take a look at these two panels, it is disclaimer time. The team over at Aputure did send me both of these to test and review, but they're not an official sponsor of the channel, and they're not paying me in any way for this review. They have no input over the content that I put in this video, and as always, I can say whatever I want. Why don't airports have movie theaters for layovers? They would make so much money. So the Amaran lineup has always been considered the more budget-friendly lineup of the Aputure family. They usually feature qualities of their higher-end lights with a few features here and there removed to save on cost. So we have two new panels here to take a look at. We have the P60X bicolor model coming in at only $249, and then we have the P60c RGBWW model coming in at only $349. These are very affordable prices for 60-watt LED panels. Both lights have an extremely solid build quality and heft to them that actually honestly surprised me when I opened them up. They are plastic, but this is not the brittle feeling plastic from back in the day. This is a nice composite plastic that feels incredibly solid. Both lights feature two NPF battery slots, a DC power port with a locking connector, an OLED display, various control knobs, and a series of buttons to navigate the menu system. Both have the usual lighting effects built in, with the P60c obviously having effects that can take advantage of RGB colors as well. Included with both lights is an AC power brick and cabling, a light stand mount, a pop-up softbox with a Velcro grid, and a nice little carrying case. I do love me some carrying cases. Now, there aren't any NPF batteries included in the box with these lights like Aputure used to include back in the day, but I'll give them a pass on it this time. Just this time. Both of these panels also have Sidus Link built in, allowing full control from the app and integration with your current Aputure Sidus lighting ecosystem. This may seem like something small, but I feel like adding Sidus Link to the Amaran lineup, including the recently released COB 200 and 100 lights, is a big deal. Allowing Amaran lights to seamlessly integrate with higher-end lights like Nova panels and Lightstorms means that these are no longer limited to use on just budget productions. Professionals will find these lights right at home in their lighting kits. And that is what I really want to talk about in this video. Are Amaran lights limited to only budget productions, or can they cut the mustard on a professional set? Cut the mustard? That's a weird saying. Who's cutting mustard? Anyway, as soon as I received these panels, I put them straight to work on a commercial that we were shooting for a local restaurant that actually aired during Monday Night Football. We used one or both of the panels in every single shot of the commercial. With a 5600 Kelvin output at 3 meters of 572 lux for the P60 X and 705 lux for the P60c, we were able to use these lights as fill lights for an interview, key lights for B-roll, and much more. Now, while the P60X is a fantastic product, my heart personally lies with the P60C. For that extra $100, I think the full RGB capability and those RGB effects that you get are totally worth the extra price. In fact, for several shots in the kitchen where we wanted to accentuate the open flame of the barbecue pit, we used the fire effect on the P60C to throw a little flame flicker into key areas of the image. Now, that high brightness output of these panels does come at a cost, and that cost is battery life. Running two NPF 970 batteries on the P60C at 100%, they only last me about 45 minutes. Now, of course, you can run both lights on wall power with the included AC adapter brick, and one cool party trick is that it can actually charge any attached NPF batteries while it's plugged in and turned off. This is great to maybe charge up some batteries while you're on a lunch break or something like that, but you are going to want to have a lot of charged batteries on hand if you're going to be using these for an extended period of time. So that brings me to that AC brick connector. The input port is rated for 12 to 18 volts, meaning it could potentially be powered by a Dtap battery. However, the connector is not a traditional locking barrel connector, but Aputure has said that they will be coming out with a Dtap cable that will connect to these panels, so you can run them off of Dtap V-mount, gold mount lights, which are more commonplace on professional sets. So I said that out of the two, my personal favorite is the P60C. And the reason is because it's essentially a baby Nova 300C. The Aputure Nova P300C is an RGBWW panel that costs $1,699 without a case. So with the P60C coming in at only 20% of the cost of a 300C, how do you think the two stack up? Let's take a look. So the 300C has a Kelvin range of 2700 to 6500, while the 60C has a range of 2700 all the way up to 7500. Both of them are full RGBWW with lighting effects built in. Both of them have Sidus Control. And at the 5500 to 5600 Kelvin area, the 300C has a 3-meter output of 1100 lux, and the 60C has an output of 705 lux. So that's 64% of the brightness of a P300C for 20% of the price. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that the P60C is a replacement or substitute for a P300C, but calling it a very capable baby brother, I think is a reasonable statement. And of course, we can't leave behind the P60X either, which is also an extremely capable panel for its $250 price point. So what makes these lights part of the Amaran lineup as opposed to part of the Lightstorm lineup? Honestly, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the lack of a built-in V-mount plate. Maybe it's the use of a smaller, cheaper stand mount as opposed to a built-in yoke. But other than that, I really can't see what huge features are missing from these panels. These are both incredible lights, and I plan on taking the P60C with me on every shoot from now on. So whether you're looking for some LED panels to complement your higher end, or in this case, almost only just higher priced, Aputure lights, or if you're trying to build an entire kit from the ground up on a lower budget, I don't think you can go wrong with either the P60X or the P60C. They're available, of course, individually, and they will be coming in 3 light kits as well. I have affiliate links in the description down below where you can go ahead and pick these lights up from the vendor of your choice. Usually I also have a list of affiliate links for all the accessories you would need for new lights, but to be honest, these guys already come with everything in the box, except batteries. So as always, while you're down there checking out those links, make sure to go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and of course, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell so that you won't miss any future content coming to the channel. I hope you guys can get your hands on some of these panels soon, and I will see you in the next video.